Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly for pricing. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing my favorite H. Moser Cie product, the watch I consider to be the Moser, a brand-defining watch. This is the H. Moser Cie Endeavour Perpetual Calendar Funky Blue. 40.8 millimeters in white gold. The watch is 11.5 millimeters thick, 49.1 millimeters lug-to-lug, and it has a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. As you see it right here, this model was launched in 2015. We're going to throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see it fits quite well. There's a camber or curvature to the case back, short and stubby downturned lugs, making this watch appropriate for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference, though even 13 and a half might wear this watch well. You can see that it fits easily underneath the cuff with a sloped case flank and a relatively low profile, and over the top you can see that the lugs are not over or even near the edge of my wrist, and you can see that also down the barrel. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, we find an uncommon accessory for a Moser watch, a full matching deploying clasp. You can see a combination of polish and satination. It provides protection against accidentally dropping your watch while you are donning or removing it. The strap is a lovely texture, and this is a Kudu leather strap. If you're wondering what Kudu looks like, open up another window, Wikipedia, keep me streaming. And then we have a conventional calf on the bottom. You can see that it features shear cut sides showing the layers of leather, and then a monotone stitch. The lugs are drilled very close to the case. That necessitates the use of a curved spring bar so that the strap has a full range of motion. Ordinarily, a flat bar against the case flank can impede the motion. Here, there's no problem if you want to pull the strap straight down all the way vertical around a smaller wrist. Now, the case band exhibits a characteristic of Moser watches, depth and detail, and this is achieved by first machining the case and then hand finishing it. This level of depth and recess is not possible when stamping cases, the way most mass manufacturers do. Moser's making 1,500 watches a year out of Schaffhausen, Switzerland, so they don't have to worry about mass production of cases. They can afford to machine and then hand finish. You can see that the lug hoods are polished, the bezel's polished, the midcase has vertical satin finish, and that on both sides, and then the recesses of the lugs, which you can really see, are deeply engraved by the machining. This CNC wrought case is definitely impressive in the depth it achieves, as you have these enormous concave hollows that look like immense reflecting mirrors. The bezel is almost drawn out and then flash frozen as if it were molten metal made solid. As you can see, the end profile is broader than the mid-case profile, so it actually stretches out at the ends. And then the entirety of the bezel has a concave profile, slightly stepped in from the case band to pair the visual mass. And then we have a knurled and conical Moser branded crown. You can see that the dial is a funky blue fume. So funky blue is this color that Moser has coined, and fume is their signature fade from light at the center to dark at the edge, and the edge is dark navy. You can see that there are applique indices, leaf-style hands, a power reserve indicator. Rated power reserve here is 7 days, though in fact the watch will run for almost 9. The watch has a bidirectionally settable perpetual calendar, so you see how I'm able to set it in both directions, and see how there are two discs overlapping. That allows the date to be very large without necessitating an enormous dial to cover a single and enormous date disc. So you can see that there's also an index at center, 12 hours corresponding to 12 months. So what I'm doing right here is I'm switching between April and May, and I can do that bidirectionally. That little index indicates the current month. Again, 12 months, 12 hours, and the watch does feature a hacking or stop seconds function. Flip it all over. Caliber HMC 341. It is a manufacturer movement, and not just the bridges and the plates, not just the easy parts. Moser, through its precision engineering subsidiary, makes the hairspring, the balance, and the 14-karat gold escapement. You might ask, why a 14-karat gold escapement? It allows less lubricants to be used and also reduces friction overall, improving power reserve and precision. The overcoil is shaped by hand, and it allows the watch to keep excellent timing in all 6 standard positions. And you can see this watch, unlike most chronometers, is tested to all 6 rather than the chronometer standard of 5. 28 joules and beautiful. This watch beats away at an aesthetically pleasing and traditional 18,000 vibrations per hour. The balance has a full balance bridge dual anchored structure with a free sprung architecture. The two features allowing the watch to be very shock tolerant for a dress watch, and then the free-sprung architecture with variable inertia nuts on the balance, allowing the watch to be very precisely regulated. You can see there's a leap year function indicator on the back. Andreas Streller, yes, that Andreas Streller, designed this system for Moser during the mid-2000s. His signature is cloaked complexity, taking a complication and creating a very simple interface. And that's what he achieved, realizing you rarely need to see the leap year. He put it on the back, and then there's a pusher on the side if you wish to make adjustments. Twin mainspring barrels, that keeps the torque release even from maximum wind to minimum wind. Normally, watches with extreme power reserves with just one big barrel tend to run very fast when they're fully wound, and then in the last 2 or 3 days they get very slow. With twin barrels and staggered torque release, you don't have that problem. And you'll note the barrels are actually fixed in golden chiton held by black polished screws. That, along with the 3/4 style of the bridges, evokes the pocket watch era of Moser watchmaking during the 19th century. And of course, you also have chiton for the train wheels as well. All of this 30 meters water resistant, and you can see Moser even cambering the case back so it better fits the wrist. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing.